Yo, welcome back. You already know who it is. It's your boy MadeMenMelo coming to you back live with another Viniitube reaction. We got when anime villains make a legendary entrance. Let's go and take a look.
A villain can choose to power his way to the screen, slowly emerge in a sinister manner, or simply walk towards the protagonist carrying an aura that quickly raises the stakes. Anything to make that huge entrance that snaps into a cliffhanger or turns the stakes up in the snap of a finger. So for today, we're going to be looking at villains who made their mark on various kinds of memorable entrances or introductions in anime.
Yes, I remember that first episode, boy.
The Colossal Titan's entrance is up there, and we're going to be starting out with this big entry.
Ish got serious.
Attack on Titan really wasted no time in going for it, right? The already cool
5 minutes in.
Even more engaging in practice once you get to see how the Colossal Titan got introduced. Amidst the narration, audiences were treated to an astounding testament to the crisis that we've only felt or heard of. When the Colossal Titan makes its appearance, it does so not with a bang, but with the whole atmosphere created by its mere presence, as well as the ominous presence it exudes just by standing, making this one of the stronger villain entrances / debuts off the top of my head. There's no loud shouting, there's no over-the-top reactions, just plain, unadulterated fear. Something you'd expect from humanity when faced with a larger-than-life threat, one that threatens the very foundations of their very existence. It's an entrance that makes the threat feel very real, and I think it's one of the best ones out there thanks to how much it helped push the premise and the mood that the series was going for. We've got a lot more legendary villain entrances to come, but how about taking a bit of a detour to the realm of heroes? After all, the king of the dynamic entrances, bar none, is Saitama. And you can experience the magic with this new game and the sponsors of this video, One Punch Man, the strongest. One Punch Man needs no introduction to most of you, but did you know that it has this extremely fun turn-based RPG on mobile? My favorite part about One Punch Man, the strongest, is that it's an officially licensed game. So, you know what that means, don't you? It means you get to experience the anime and all the cool moments that come with it in the most authentic manner possible, complete with visuals, cutscenes, voice acting and such. The character designs also look so awesome and accurate, and it makes it even more tempting to collect them all to bring them to the various modes that the game provides. With over 60 heroes and villains available for recruiting, you have your hands full building your perfect team. So now is the best time to get started on this game, because with over 1 million pre-registrations, the game's going all out in its celebratory freebies. Get items such as old hanger avatar, aesthetic frames, and my favorite of them all, free rolls. By just logging in for 7 days, you can also get new characters and even more free draws. One Punch Man the Strongest is now available on both Android and iOS. You can download the game by following the link or scanning the QR code, and don't forget to input the promo code too. It will help the channel and the game immensely, and you get to fight alongside Saitama as the world's fastest rising hero. Sounds like a win-win, right? But how about something a little bit louder now, something more boisterous for the next entry? Here's Grimmjow with his debut. You can immediately tell how different Attack on Titan and Bleach are in terms of atmosphere and genre execution when you compare these two debuts. There are many great debuts for enemies in Bleach, but this is one that struck me hard when I was a young teen getting into anime. Rukia had just finished impressing everyone when this new entry, introducing himself as the 6th Espada, appears as the two protagonists look on in horror, citing his insane spiritual pressure. So how does Grimmjow make his grand entrance? By one-shotting Rukia out of nowhere, of course. Like the Colossal Titan, the anime tries to dial up the threat of this new character by appealing to the senses, the shaking, the whole ominous air surrounding this new character, people talking about how powerful this guy really is. The difference is that Grimmjow wastes no time showing off his prowess and getting Ichigo to fight and backing up all those claims by overwhelming the main character. Compared to our first entry where humanity's powerless against the threats of nature, Ichigo gets a chance to fight this new threat as an equal, only to find himself getting his ass kicked thoroughly though. Quite a good introduction to someone who would remain Ichigo's biggest rival throughout the arc, right? Since we're on the topical of loud, magical samurai with powers, how about transitioning to Sengoku Basara and Hideyoshi's first appearance?
That's the man.
Toyotomi Hideyoshi has long been a stock character of sorts in Japanese media. Next to Nobunaga himself, who better to portray than one of his finest allies and mightiest generals? The Hideyoshis in anime and video games come in different flavors, but in terms of sheer power and dread, none evoke that feeling more than the Sengoku Basara 2 form. He's got the gruff look and the spoken hype down pat. But how does he prove he's one of the most badass portrayals of this historical character? How about staying unfazed in the face of a rain of arrows before standing there and casually sending everything back at your attackers? Yeah, that'll teach these enemies the meaning of fear, right? And you want to know what the catch is? Hideyoshi doesn't even use any weapons. None. Just pure fists and brute strength as he lays out his enemies en masse. And all it takes to drive that message home is this banger of a first appearance. We scale.
Fugitive extradition.
What did he do?
Homicide.
Get him on board. Let's have a good flight.
Scale things down a bit with Nui's first appearance in Kill La Kill. From bombastic entrances, we reach Nui's introduction. Now, how does this cute and childish girl's first appearance compare to all the badassery that we've seen so far? Well, in terms of pure awesomeness, there's nothing to write home about at first, except the super casual one-shot on Uzu, establishing her as a major threat. Then she walks towards Ryuko and nonchalantly reveals her role in killing Ryuko's father. All that, along with the reveal of the scissor blade, done in a playful manner of course, and in a flick of a finger, things suddenly take on a complete 180-degree turn in terms of stakes. Sengetsu goes berserk.
Yo.
Now it's on. While this villain entrance may not have the big, ominous atmosphere at first, it's one that I'll always remember because of how quickly things turn from playful and comedic to serious and high stakes. And I think that great villains can easily flip that switch. Suddenly, we have a major battle on our hands. Now, we look at the Owl's entrance in Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes sir. It's my shit.
Tokyo Ghoul has really fallen off in terms of reputation after the first season. It's such a sad fate comparable to what happened to 7 Deadly Sins. But don't let the haters fool you though. Tokyo Ghoul, even past its first season, still has a bevy of awesome moments and scenes that completely run away with the rule of cool. And this is one such example. Don't tell me you won't be scared out of your wits seeing Owl descend and appear from the smoke like that, and you're trapped there with him. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run. Just you and this monster that puts some RPG bosses to shame in sheer fear factor. We're left wondering what's next, then the screen just fades to black. An abrupt end that keeps us on the edge of our seats wanting to know what's going to happen next. Owl's already established as a character before this, so this doesn't count as a debut. But as far as villain entrances and the emotions they make you feel, this is one extremely powerful scene.
Bro just went ham. And they just look like,
next up is
oh shit.
Bondrewd's resurrection. I featured Made in Abyss quite several times on my lists, but I don't think I've ever featured the characters that much. That changes today. And let's give a round of applause to Bondrewd for this great villain debut. By the time this arc rolled around in anime form, Bondrewd has been sort of a mastermind behind the scenes. The master of body surfing carries with him a rather unpleasant reputation and has been a thorn in the side of our heroes. However, those fears created by his reputation and actions get turned up to 11 when he emerges again in his physical form. And boy, is it scary to see the scene play out if we do a bit of empathizing. This moment toys with us, showing Pushkar's supposedly heartwarming reaction, only for a hand to grab hold of said heart and twist it around to establish that, yeah, this guy here is legit one of the worst people in fiction. This moment toys with us and gives us a huge amount of suspense as to what's next for the character. What more can this guy who has no sense of good or evil do? What's important is that he's back and the main characters are going to be in for the fight of their lives.
That looks tough.
Arkaza makes an appearance here, rather out of nowhere like he did. The whole Infinity Train movie, or arc depending on which medium you watch this on, led us all to believe that Enmu was the big one. I mean, this is the guy who survived Muzan's purge of his subordinates while carrying what conceptually is very overpowered ability. Then the good guys beat him in an epic battle, and it's time for the unwinding, right? Suddenly, this new demon, Upper Moon 3, appears out of nowhere, just right when our heroes are at their most vulnerable, and it's a sudden climax just when you thought it was all over. Argaza's entrance, for me, excels so much due to its timing and how much it shifted the tone of the movie or episode. It just fits so perfectly with Ufotable's art and sound direction. The whole thing with Argaza appearing and only Rengoku being in any form ready to battle. What followed was one of the greatest fights in battle shonen movie history. And if you don't want a more in-depth look at the fight, you can check out one of the other videos on my channel, which I'll be linking above. And with that, we end with Kizaru.
Oh, こちらキザル。おお、到着しましたんで、応答願います。
Kizaru is one of the most overpowered characters in One Piece. And how does he show it? By defeating the supernovas, of course. But don't let anyone tell you his prowess came out of nowhere. We've all been warned when he made his entrance in Sarbodi. There are few things that are bigger flexes than the swagger-filled way he entered the scene. He gave zero care in the world as he's getting shot while easily dispatching everyone in sight. While he may not look the coolest or the most intimidating amongst the huge gallery of villains in One Piece, Kizaru lets his actions do the talking in this scene, one which features him making quick work of Hawkins as well. And when Apu joined the party, big mistake. Few villains can enter the scene looking so unfazed, as if he's just toying with all the poor fools in his sight, and Kizaru does it with so much swag that he quickly turned himself into one of the most intimidating characters out there. And to think that Luffy and gang will have to face him eventually, what a great way to build up the hype.
Man's literally turned into pure energy. What is going on in One Piece? I haven't got that far, and damn it, I got a long way to go if y'all know stuff like that. Lord,
8 of my favorite and most memorable anime villain entrances. Now, I hope you had a good time.
Some cool entrances that I've seen before, especially that owl entrance in Tokyo Ghoul. That is my show. If you haven't already, if you look at the bottom right of your screen, you'll see Kaneki. Right there, in good old form with the mask. Yes, you already know. That's my shit. But anyway, that was a cool list. Definitely some. Definitely a lot more I'll probably put on there as well. But man, some of the entrances be like, yeah, the main character might be getting a butt whooped. Or like when they do the entrance where it's like a massive battle or something like that, and bro just descends and just wipes everybody out, like how Madara did, even though he didn't make an entrance, but his fighting made an entrance. That was the thing. Nobody's seen Madara fight unless it was like a flashback with Hashirama and them, but full-on one-man army, that was crazy. But anywho, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. This your boy MadeMenMelo. You guys have a wonderful night. Peace.